All right, folks. Hey, great day to be a Bulldog, right? We're bringing in a person who I think truly cares about the student athlete and cares about the experience of our student athletes and their growth beyond the court. That to me is what I call a great Bulldog, and that is what I call Coach Lisa Rosen.
Well, I don't think that there was a specific time or a specific moment. I think it was just kind of an evolution of my career, but I was really excited about taking over a program. I love the sport of volleyball, and I love teaching and bringing out the competitiveness in athletes. The city of Fresno is amazing. When I came out for my interview, it was very evident to me how much the administration wanted volleyball to be good, to be a relevant sport, to excel in the conference, and that was something that was really very interesting to me because I wasn't looking to just go anywhere. I was looking to go somewhere where I felt that we could be great in a conference. I want the Fresno State program to be very reminiscent of what Fresno is about. It's about hard work. It's about getting after it, and then again, it'll go back to about being passionate about what you do.
When a Hall of Famer speaks to you, you kind of listen. So when I called Ruth Lawansa.
Ruth and I are pretty good friends. She played here, had a great history here.
And she talks to me about what volleyball means here. You got the right person here.
But it sounds like the Red Wave is very passionate about their sports here. You know, having a good staff is vital. Bringing Jerome was a huge, huge priority for me. You know, Jerome will challenge, but then at the end of the day, we are very much aligned with how we want the offense to run, how we think defense should be played. And so that was really, really important. I've known OJ for 10, 15 years. He came and worked camp for us. He was gonna bring a different perspective. And from a very high level, he was gonna look at stuff just different than us.
1, 2, 3, go Dogs! All right, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Nice to see all of you. Thanks for making time to jump on this Zoom last minute. You'll get a chance to meet in person soon. And I know Lisa's looking forward to meeting you guys too. We wanted you to have some time to meet your new head coach, Lisa Rosen.
Carrie had us do a Zoom meeting with Lisa, and I remember like logging onto the Zoom meeting and everybody was on their best behavior, you know, so nervous. Because Lisa, her demeanor is kind of intimidating. She's very serious and to the point. And so we all log into the Zoom meeting. Lisa's just talking and saying how she's excited to start working with us in the spring, and nobody says a word. And you know this group, how everybody's so energetic and everybody's all talkative all the time. And Lisa and Carrie, they asked if anybody had anything to say. Like, I think maybe Sydney spoke up and just said, "Thanks for meeting with us." It was funny.
Well, I think the nice thing is I actually had the opportunity to meet all of them either on an individual basis or in small groups. They all came by the office that first week before we had an official team meeting.
I remember I called her Coach Rosen, and she was like, "Just call me Lisa, you don't need to call me Coach Rosen." And it's just funny looking back that I originally called her Coach Rosen.
So I really appreciated how much they wanted to meet me.
And met her, and she asked what my goals were for the season and what I wanted to do. And I just told her, I was like, I want to be a winning program coming off of the year that we had, and kind of doing a whole 180 with it and just getting on the same page initially of what we wanted and getting kind of straight to the point.
Walking in, still intimidating. First time meeting her in person. And she's this tall woman, very straight to the point, all business. And I remember just being very impressed by the way she knew exactly what she wanted. Straight from the beginning, she told me, we're gonna train hard and spring is gonna be difficult because we wanna grow as much as we can because we're looking to win. And I was like, yes, we love it. She was just kind of is a boss, you know?
If I call people into my office, it's a different vibe than when someone just drops by or wants to come meet. And so I was really very impressed with how they all came in to my office before we had the formal team meeting.
She was so interested in learning about Fresno State, and she wanted to be about Fresno State, so I got the honor of telling her all about Pride of the Valley, and you know, I wanted her to be as fired up as our team is about playing for Fresno State.
obviously we had a formal team meeting, and it was very, I wouldn't say it was loose. I'm a big proponent on keeping their time valuable, and so we got after, from a meeting standpoint, we got after the very important stuff. We made introductions and all of that, and then we talked about trust.
Everyone was really excited, but I think it was her first time seeing us play. So everyone was, nervous.
Yeah, I think at that point in time, everybody's a little nervous. I'm bringing in a new philosophy. They're trying to maybe impress. And so the first week of practices was more them kind of getting to know my vibe in the gym. We step in the gym, we have fun, but we're also very efficient and we're very on task.
You know what she wants and you know the goals, and she makes everything very direct and clear. And so I never had to go into a practice guessing of what we were going to do that day. Everything's written out, everything's pre-planned, and everything has a specific reason of why we're doing it. And so you never really question anything, which was nice.
I just learned so much in that one practice that I had in so long.
Get your arms out away from you, keep that ball in front of you, and you can dig that.
She taught me things that I hadn't even thought about before. Like, she taught us a completely new way of passing, and I was all for it. I loved it.
Go ahead and dig that with your hands. Be solid. And then don't try and keep her in tempo. Get her a high ball.
I don't like to waste time. I don't like to have my time wasted, and so then therefore I refuse to waste the athlete's time.
Definitely the intensity of practices grew from what I was used to, but it was never anything that we couldn't handle.
I think what our team wanted was this intensity, and you knew from the first practice that she was a competitor and that she was so intense. Through practice, we're sweating, but she's also sweating because she's so into it. She's hitting balls so hard at us, and yeah, from the first practice I knew that our team was gonna love her.
But I think the first week was more just us getting to know each other. I didn't want to walk in and blow everything up because I had no idea what their skill level was. And I was impressed with their skill level. We needed to make some changes and we worked really, really hard on that, but I wanted to just figure out how they played more than anything. We weren't great at passing during the spring when we first came in, but that's something that we were committed to getting better at, because if you can't control the ball, then you can't do anything.
If you don't control the ball, then the game controls you. So that's gonna be a huge emphasis for us. We're gonna work hard.
What do I want to accomplish? What are my main philosophies, whether it's core values, whether it's kind of solidify the 4 pillars that I think that our program needs to be built on. And the very first one is trust.
We talked about this, right? That's the first thing that we're gonna build this program off of is trust.
And we talked about trusting your teammates, trusting your coaches, but most importantly, trusting yourself. Character, I think that that's a big thing. Character is the way I define it, is what do you do when no one's watching. The third pillar is commitment. I think that being a college athlete is such a special opportunity. And it's not always easy. There's times where it's hard. I don't really like to call it a grind because I think that puts a negative tone on stuff. But I think that commitment it's important. It's not just a 4-month or an 8-month gig. It's a lifestyle. And then the last one is passion. If you just go through the motions, then you're not going to be good at anything. And so, I'm going to hold the girls to a really high standard. I'm going to hold the staff to a really high standard. But I'm also going to celebrate when they do it well. I'm going to let them know when they don't do it well. But hopefully it's more passion, and I think that'll help rise the program.
First week down.
Oh, we gotta take down the net.
I think having Izzy, our strength coach, being so involved in our program is very good.
Lisa and our strength coach Izzy implemented this strength assessment, is what they called it. It's like Iron Bulldog.
She gets after them from a lifting standpoint, but then she also has fun with them.
So I think that just kind of sparked some motivation for people to really push themselves in the summer.
When you break for summer, that's the scariest time ever because you don't have control over now what they're doing. Volleyball doesn't have anything formal in the summer, and so we don't have any control over what they're working on in the gym, or even if they're in the gym. It's completely up to them.
We've had great leadership all throughout the years that I've been here, but I think that this last summer, Molly, me, and Brooke kind of stepped up in the sense of like, we got to get the job done this year, and we can't necessarily be lackadaisical in things that are easy to go through the motions with.
That was just kind of a mark of this is a new beginning. You know, we're gonna put new things into place, and it was very structured and organized.
They worked out 4 days a week in the weight room and they got after it. They were amazing, coming in and committing to each other more than anything, committing to each other that they were gonna work out.
Every girl's bought in. Every girl leads the team in a different way. And it's not just the leadership group that does it. Everyone buys in. It's everyone's job to come set up the nets. Everybody's job at the end of the day to work together. We all enjoy it and we all want to be there, which kind of separates the going through the motions part. Because if everybody's bought in, it's way different. And that's kind of how last summer went, I feel like.
Her main message was, I'm impressed by the way that we trained all summer, which was really nice to hear because, you know, that's just how our culture is. That's what we do.
Lisa compliments us oftentimes of like how our preparation for the fall started in summer.
It was interesting to see Lisa's perspective that that's not normal. And that coming from a different program, she was able to tell us that, you know, our work is valued.
All of the freshmen came in, they were here on campus and they worked out in June and July.
Everyone's super excited to meet them and kind of welcome them into this new culture that we've set for ourselves as well. And so all of them bought in right away. Dee did a good job, Jaden, Ella, and Maya, they all did an amazing job coming in and kind of getting down to business.
One of those pillars is commitment. You know, they made a huge commitment to working out over the summer, and I'm just super proud of that.
It prepared us well for season because we lifted a lot during double days, more than I remember in the past.
It helped keep us healthy, strong. We weren't going into season completely exhausted because we had at least a little bit of a base already going into the fall.
Her meeting basically was, we're gonna train really hard and we're gonna push you past your comfort zone.
She always says, we're gonna push you to the edge, but not over the edge.
And I'm gonna push you to the edge, but I'm not gonna push you over the edge.
Honestly, it's a really good motto of how she runs practice.
We're gonna be uncomfortable and we're gonna be tired and it's gonna be challenging mentally and physically, but basically she believes that we can do it, and she's doing this because she believes in us.
You know, everybody's got to fight for a spot and everybody has to do their own work to get to where they want to be.
And everybody, like in the weight room, on the court, in the locker room, everybody was all in, and it was obvious from the beginning.
Focus on 3, 1, 2, 3, focus!